How you doing? This bike here is gonna sit in the garage a little bit over the winter, and I realize that we're almost done the winter, and maybe I should move the camera because I have a feeling that you guys can't see the square rooted dick. This. 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 Maybe you can see. Okay. So I technically haven't filmed the walk around of this bike yet, which I'll probably do in the sunshine maybe tomorrow, maybe lunchtime or something like that. But it doesn't matter. I can film this before and after. That's the love of filmmaking. One of the things about this bike, and like the last bike, the triple, it's gonna sit through the winter. We live in the Canada, so I can't exactly ride it in the wintertime. So it needs a way to be charged actively through the wintertime. So we need to hook up to the battery with this Pokemon. And this has got the fuse, bada bing, to make sure it protects the bike from overcharging or melting or whatever else. So these go on the terminals. This gets plugged into the charging device, which I will show you once I plug it in a few minutes. So we're gonna get to it and figure out how to do this. Because one of the interesting things about this bike is that there is no through the back like there was on the triple. The battery was here-ish on the triple, like this one is, but that was open to this back seat where I could, the cable, no problem. This bike, I realize I already have the seats off. The driver's seat goes in first, and then the pillion seat goes on second, which means that in order to have this cable always there, it's got to stick out somewhere, and it has to stick out somewhere safe so that it doesn't get caught in stuff, and it has to stick somewhere safe so that I can use it easily, and it has to stick somewhere safe so it doesn't scratch the bike. Yeah. So we're gonna figure that out as we go. But first things first, we have to actually connect it to the bike. So, good news is, it's a 10 mil. The question is, I have no idea where the 10 mil is. Yeah. Do I get lucky? No, there's an 8. There's a 12. There's a half. There's a half. There's a half. There's a 9/16. There's a 12. There's a 9/16. There's a 12. Oh wait. Oh wait. There is a quarter 10 socket. Oh, you guys see these? I'm gonna show you guys really close because this is like crazy, crazy, crazy. Somebody has been absolutely destroying these screws. Now, hopefully somebody's done the spring method underneath and I don't get fucked by doing what I'm doing. Look at that. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. I hope you can see it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but it is what it is. So that's the negative, and it's got a down on that side, so I can't put it there. That is much more up. So there, on, and let's see if I can easily and simply screw it in place without any issues, and it looks like I'm going to win in that regard. That's win number 1. At least for now, until I figure out where the thing's going to get routed to. And then here is the other ones. So we're going to make sure that they're nice and the same, give or take. Yeah, that's out of the way. This is loose. You can make all the jokes that you like about being loose. And we are unscrewing. And we are slipping that in there. And praying that this is a long enough. One of the challenges with these things is when you get a couple eyelets on there, it tends to be a little long or a little short. And if it's a little short, it won't do up. And I don't know if that's the case right yet. Nope. Winning! We have one. Oh, we're gonna loosen that up just a touch. There we go. So, I don't know if the wires are gonna stay like this, but let me see if I can tip that camera so you can see what it looks like down there. Yeah. If you've got motion sickness, you better not have looked. So it's there. So now we're gonna back up and we're gonna do this. Now you can see more of the bike, and hopefully we're gonna figure out a good way to get this sorted. So we don't need that for now. So there's lots of, like, through here, down and clipped, that's probably not a good idea down by the exhaust. But the challenge then becomes that there is suspension over here. We've got big, thick spring. So we want to be careful of that. And we also have a seat that goes back on top. So we want to be mindful of that. And we have all kinds of power equipment, so we need to be mindful of that. So it's obvious that the seat rubs on these steel rails, so we need to be mindful of that. So we gotta be careful here, so we can tuck it a little bit down here. I may undo that battery securing device right there in order to do what I'm doing. Now, I think because it's so easy to take the seats off, I'm having a thought. Maybe I just tuck it and then plug it in when I need it. Because if I do that, it means I'm less likely to damage anything. Yeah. That's interesting. What's that? We are going to tuck that bad boy right down. And in. And that right down and in. Ducky. And then I wonder if we can feed this up and through without breaking anything. Do. Methinks I should have fed the wire through this part before I did it up. that probably would have been intelligent. And they probably would have been a lot more intelligent than doing what I'm doing. So that then becomes that. Okay, so how are we doing for the red cable? We can pull that back a little bit more. Let's do that. We're gonna pull that back a little bit more. Now that's just sitting there like so. And I'll show you guys up close here in a second. But we've got all this excess, which can then get tucked back underneath. Nice and neatly tucked. And I think I'm gonna grab an Allen and lift that up and put that back down so the cable's underneath. And that becomes an easy plug-in, which we'll do that in a second, but now I'm gonna show you the charge thing. So this is a little Noco. I don't know whether if it'll focus on that or not, but this is a little Noco. And it has like 4 basic battery seconds, 12 volt AGM, 12 volt lithium, which this bike doesn't have, the triple did. And then a 6 volt battery. So you just kind of, you press the, I don't know if you can hear it. So you press the little mode button, swap between the two, plug it into your wall. This end plugs into that cable, and then it's a trickle charge. Yeah. So, that's not long enough. That's what she said. Do I have the extension cord plugged in? I do somewhere. I need. Where are you, Mr. Extension Cord? Okay. And then that. No, I'm not afraid. That's bad etiquette, but you gotta listen anyway. Okay, so I'm not plugged into the bike yet. Oh, let's do the start sequence for you guys first. It's gonna come on. I don't know whether you can see that. It's gonna do a start sequence. It's gonna look for something attached. Obviously, nothing's attached. Now, let's see if I can, I wonder if I do this, it'll show it when I plug it in. Take the cap off the bike side. And then we plug it. Oh. So we're gonna swap that to 12 volt. And there we have 12 volt. It went to red. And now we're red flashing. It's charging. Or at least it should be charging. We go to 12 volt AGM. I don't know whether you can see it. Flashing red. I think that's charging. We're gonna have to look at the Noco manual, ladies and gentlemen, and I will post up on the screen afterwards whether that is in fact working or not working. And if it's not working, I'll come back out and do more. But that's essentially it. Now, in theory, the bike is being charged while I'm not on it to make sure the battery is good so that when I go to ride it, it's gonna start. Negative pushes, positive pulls. And always clean your toys before you put them away.